All right, here we go. Hi, I'm Howard of Brambles Botanicals, and today I'm repotting some seed-grown Pinguicula, which are called Butterworts. Pinguicula is the Latin name, and these are carnivorous. You can think of them akin to carnivorous succulents. The leaves are sticky. They have beautiful flowers. One of these already flowered. So the cross is an in-house cross that we did. It's 2310, which means that we did it in 2023, and it was the 10th cross, probably the 10th successful cross. This is Rectifolia by Faulisi, by Laueana Red. I believe that Laueana Red is basically typical Laueana. Rectifolia by Faulisi is our in-house taffeta cross. It's just a very loose nickname that we use in-house. This was a cross that Beastie did. And I'm curious how many of these there are. So I'm loosening the sides of the pot, and typically I just grab some tweezers, start pulling stuff out. So these have fairly shallow roots. Sorry about the tweezer snaps. Fairly shallow roots, and so you can lift them out. Like there aren't roots down in the pot here. They're really just typically the first like inch or so. So I'm gonna pull away some of the old soil, and especially the mossy stuff, the little green moss. Some people, also sorry about all the little pebble noises. Some people really like the moss. Personally, I do not. It spreads like a weed. Oh, here's a worm. Put you back in the pot. It spreads like a weed, and it chokes the plants. If it gets dense enough, it will form a mat that will choke back your plants until they will die. It will win against your plants. So yeah, just taking away the sides. This just makes everything easier. I'm gonna go put this in the trash. I didn't give myself a trash. Whoa, sorry. All right, got a trash. So something that helps loosen up seedlings is some water. And then I've got these little dishes kind of on the side here. Maybe that'd be better. To separate them by size. This isn't necessary. It's just a method that I like. So yeah, just tease them apart a little bit. It's just, the water is helping to soften the soil that's around the plants, and will ultimately just make it a little easier to pull them apart. So here's a big one going in there. I also like doing these little kind of water baths because it helps get rid of that moss and the spores of the moss. Smaller. Computer's a little warmer than I would like it. I think it's okay. Tickle on my neck. My hands are wet. Hair. And the neck's wet. Oh well. Okay. All right. So that's it for this. Set it aside for the moment. Just poured it all over the floor. Oh well. I'll clean it up later. So yeah, gonna let these soak for another minute. I'm gonna go get the pots that they're going in, which I pre-prepared. I'll be right back. Okay, here are some pots. Move these over. See, I prepared a few pots already. Actually, I'd like to start with the smallest plants. Turn them upside down. Get some of that extra stuff off. Use my tweezers. Oop, wait. Okay. So since pings are sticky, they tend to be gooey coming out of water. There's like gooey dew. Yeah, very shallow root systems. They can basically just get tucked in. Yeah, the water really softens things up. I'm able to get most of that moss off, which is good because it is aggressive. If there's any spores in there, which there are, even with my baths here, there's still spores. Here's a good example of the roots. Yeah, it will come back. So it's best to get as rid of as much as possible. Otherwise, it will just keep attacking your plants, out competing them. I hope it's okay that I'm not always talking. I may get better at it, but these are supposed to be kind of relaxing, just easy little videos. I am really excited about these plants, and I'm excited to see what these end up looking like a little more, or how variable they are. So these are all siblings. I believe I put on screen, we have already had one flower. So now the question is, as more of these flower, how variable are they? How did the genetics express? Here's some of that goo. I don't know if you can, like it is on a spent flower stalk, but it's still slimy. A little agitation, trying to get stuff off the leaves, but things do get a little dirty sometimes. I could do another round of bathing, but I'm not prepared for that in this video. So we have 3 biggins. I'm wondering which one is the biggest. I will put 2 in a pot together to share, and then I'll try to put the biggest one in its own pot. Huh. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Typically, there are little baby, smaller siblings or pups off of the larger siblings underneath the leaves of such a clustered pot. Here, that wasn't really the case. Like, really, this one should maybe go in its own pot. But pings do also like to be in little colonies. It's not an absolute, but they tend to grow in little clusters where they hold on to each other, and cliff faces or seep walls. It helps them take down bigger prey, like, you know, maybe a crane fly instead of just a mosquito. I think they like being close to each other, but it is also easy to overdo it to the point of decline. Like these pots, the multi-pots with multiple plants, they will probably need attention sooner rather than later. These will fill these pots up. But that is a repot. So maybe I'll check in on these in a couple of months, see how they're doing, see if we've gotten any new flowers. But for now, this was repotting seed-grown rectifolia by Faulisi by laueana. And thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.